always a process of finding the passion, and when I went vegan years ago, I started juicing at the same time, and when I learned about the benefits of reversing sickness and disease with natural ingredients, I became so obsessed with it, and I was always making juices for friends and family coming over, but I wasn't making like certain juices with different recipes. I was throwing everything in the juicer, and they were freaking out because it was like just brown, and they're like, oh, this is great. I'm like, but it's so good for you. You have no idea, like all the benefits. And then I just started making more recipes and balancing different recipes of what was good with each other and what it would help with like reducing inflammation and helping diabetes and high blood pressure. And then I was like, you know what, I want to create a business with this. So when I moved back to the Bay Area, I'm originally from here, it was just, okay, what do I need to do? So I went the route of Googling everything, and taking the time to get all their certifications and the licensing, and that took a whole year. And when I launched it was 2 weeks before COVID, and during that time, I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? But then everyone wanted to be like boosting their immune system and supporting local businesses, so it was a blessing in disguise. And I've just become so passionate about it, the fact that you can reverse almost all diseases with natural ingredients and juice fasting and really rebooting your whole system. And that's why I created this business, and I try to spread that knowledge and that the health benefits to everybody. And I can always go on and on about it, but that's basically it. Thank you.
Awesome. What do I need to not stand next to so we're not making that sound? So one of my questions was, what area or gap did your business fill in that was missing before? And most of you kind of answered that, but Danielle, I want to switch back to you because your business is Vegan Chula. What area or what gap do you feel like your business was answering the call to that wasn't there before?
Great question. For me, I think it was two things. I grew up in Hayward, California in the East Bay, which is a food desert if you are a vegan. It is incredibly hard to attain anything in that area. Yes, you can frequent your local Thai food restaurants and Indian food as much as possible, but that's really all you have, and then you need to cook from home. So first and foremost, it was really important to me to open up my home restaurant back in Hayward. I had so many people just being thankful, like, thank you, there's finally a vegan option here. So that was really important. And then the other thing that I think is, even in the creation of my name, Vegan Chula, like, vegan has such a negative connotation associated with it, and I really wanted to change the narrative on that. What my mission with my business is to make it so much more inclusive to people and it be more of an inviting type of cuisine. So it's very important to me to make it comfortable and to yes, have vegan in the name so that it can open up discussions, but it not be this exclusive thing where oh, I don't want to have our food because I don't mess with that kale quinoa. It's just oh no, just try it. Food is food, and then when you see how delicious it can be, then we can open up those conversations of okay, so why vegan and what got you on this path? But it's really important for me to have that in the name so that we can talk about it and we can kind of take the shame and the judgment out of the conversation. That makes sense.
Perfect. So now this question is for all of you because that leads me into my next question. What excites you or keeps you going with this idea? Because same as what Danielle just said, I have the Bizerkeley Food Festival. It is not the Bizerkeley Vegan Food Festival because I'm actually a therapist in real life. As a therapist, I have to break down the stigma around the word vegan. And like Danielle just said, food is food. Apple is food. It's not vegan food, it is food. So for all of you, what excites you or keeps you going with this business that you started?
I can briefly answer. Well, what keeps me going, like I said, it's been a lifelong dream, and eventually it's going to be a brick and mortar restaurant. So this is just the goal of feeding people my food, opening up their minds to what vegan food can be, what comfort food can be, and then just going on that trajectory of it being brick and mortar, flagship stores, continuing on from there. But yeah, just the dream is big, so just keeping it moving.
makes it all worth it and keeps me going is the response from the clients that I have, and the response from the results that they get from drinking the juice and how it's helped them through different types of sicknesses, and also really changing their mindset about when they drink a juice. Maybe their past experiences haven't been good, they didn't get anything that tasted well balanced or enjoyable to drink. So when I change their mind about that or see the reaction when they drink it, it makes me so happy. And like the goal for the juice company, it used to be wanting to open a brick and mortar, but I think I just want to be able to expand further into other states and create obviously more jobs for people and just spread health and wellness to other people, and possibly classes to teach people more about how they can heal themselves naturally without going the pharmaceutical route. So that's kind of where I'm going, but it kind of always changes direction. So that's kind of the idea.
I guess for myself, it would be the fact that now that I'm in between two different worlds of like the mycology community and the vegan community. People in the mycology community have small animal farms, right? You know, like, so you see a lot of people in mycology eating a lot of animals or have some type of animal being raised around their kids, right? So now I'm able to be in these two places and having these full-on conversations with these people and changing their perspective. And when I've had these full conversations with them and we're sitting down, you know, eating mushrooms that we grew together or we foraged together, but bonding over food, we're talking, because food is food. But, you know, taking someone else's life is not food. So having those discussions and having their kids around kind of motivates my business even more now. The fact that I'm able to speak about these things to other people that we couldn't sit at the table before. And now we're sitting at the table now and we're having these conversations. So it's pretty cool, and the fact that I used to be an ex-factory farm worker, so it puts a whole different change in showing them the oppression behind everything. So it's pretty cool to have that, and then the fact that I'm able to take this to places that a lot of people need it, you know, like people that are having health issues or have liquor stores or McDonald's and stuff like that. We don't need that no more. So when people come to me and I set up like pop-ups with like Jordon and a few other people around me, it's like, and I see their reaction, like, yo, like, this is cool. Like, those are the type of things that kind of just motivate me to keep it going and to motivate my friends around me like this to keep them going. Because like you said, we have to keep our business alive and learn how to keep our community together.
What keeps me going? I don't really know. I think it's just like, man, it's weird. I really don't know. I've just been rocking every day, just not really reflecting too much on it. But I know that I'm getting better every day as like a cook. I am spreading messages that I'm proud to spread, which is like, you know, piggybacking off all you guys, you know, we can cure ourselves. We can heal ourselves with our diet. We can heal ourselves with our lifestyles, how we treat each other, our energy, everything like that. And that's basically, I'm just taking it day to day right now. My business is still very young, and so I'm just enjoying it every day pretty much. I don't, you know, it's just a part of me at this point.
So for me, I feel like I get excited easily, so I have a couple of things that kind of keep me going. I think the biggest part of it is passion and reflection. I feel like I try to figure out how to sustain the joy in it without getting to a point of exhaustion. I've been around a lot of people that work in restaurants, and I know, or own restaurants, and I know how exhausting it can be. So for me, the narrative I want to change is the exhaustion. For me, I'm trying to enjoy it and put leisure in kind of in the forefront of it. So that way it's always something that I enjoy doing. It doesn't become like a job or something that I'm like, oh no, I gotta make these many donuts today. Another thing that kind of keeps me going, the name came from that Hausa vegan. It actually came from being mocked by my family members, because every time I go back home, I grew up in the north of Nigeria, and it's mainly Muslims. It's like Islam, it's like the Islamic region, and so we celebrate Eid a lot. And so a lot of times they ask me, well, how do I fulfill my religion if I can't eat meat during Eid? And I'm like, I don't have to eat meat. I can eat everything else. Like, I can eat the traditional food. It doesn't have to be meat. So, like, after, like, really trying to figure out how to name my business, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to take all the shit that I got and put it together and actually just own it. I'm a Hausa woman that is vegan, and that doesn't make me any less Hausa. And it doesn't make me a Western Hausa person. And so I decided to go with that. And another thing is, growing up in the North, women or girls are groomed to be domesticated. So I started cooking when I was 5, not because of domestication. I'm the first out of 6 kids, so I was helping my mom a lot. But by the time you reach puberty, there's this, you need to learn how to cook so that way when you go to your husband's house, you're gonna do this and do that. So the idea was always in your husband's house. So at some point, I dreaded cooking. Like, it was one of those things where I would be like, no, I'm not gonna cook. I don't have to prepare myself to be in my husband's house today. And so it took a while. I separated myself, and when I became vegan, I kind of got back into creating and enjoying it. So now it's exciting that I have separated the stereotype and the trauma and the oppression of wanting to be domesticated, and now it's very joyful and very me. It's like I want to wake up at 3 a.m. and make donuts. I think of the flavors in the middle of the night. I'm like, when I wake up, I'm gonna go buy some pomegranate and some ginger and see what's gonna do and figure it out. So it's changing the narrative and like really writing on passion and seeing how far I've come from a lot of the narrative that I've been trying to recreate for myself.
Yes. So, I don't know about y'all, I don't dream about pomegranate donuts at 2 o'clock in the morning. But now that you kind of have us drooling and thinking about it, we're going to do a best. What is the best item? And I'm just going to shameless plug Liquified Juicery really quick. What is the best item that is going to make everyone in here hungry or race to your booths or whatever? What is your best item? Like the one that you're just like, you have to try mine, fill in the blank.
Ooh, okay. You should try everything, but you really have to try my lemon loaves. They are really, really amazing. I don't like lemonade, and I'm very picky about my relationship with lemon, but somehow, like, the chemistry just came together. This lemon loaf is not too lemony. It's not like, it's really good. I offered it for the first time actually yesterday. I had a pop-up at Understory, a restaurant in Oakland, and I offered that. And everyone that ordered it literally asked to talk to me because they were trying to figure out what I put in there. And because a lot of people also don't like lemon, apparently. So I was like, oh shit. So I think you should really try the lemon loaves. I'm really trying to put more energy into it and focus. And so you should try it out.
All right, lemon loaves. Next, what's the best thing?
The food's getting better little by little. Every day, working hard. But my baby is the sea moss gel, the one that got everything started. I think it still kind of goes a little bit under the radar in terms of like. It's like in Rainbow right now, and they sell most of it. But like outside of that, it's kind of not too many people are hitting me up for it anymore. It's kind of they're more focused on the food now, and I'm just like, well. That's actually my favorite product, to be honest. Like, it started everything. It makes me feel great. I take it every day. I wish more people would be turned on to it, like I am. Like, I love sea moss.
Okay.
So I guess for my product, I would say any of the products are super awesome, super helpful for the people. I have grown kids, but I would like for y'all to come out to have an experience. Come out to one of the foraging walkabouts that we have every other month, especially right now through the mushroom season. It's all the way towards the end of February. So if y'all want to hit up the booth, scan the QR code that we have on the banner and sign up and come with us and learn about the mushrooms and go forage your own mushrooms. Last year we found maybe like almost 10 pounds, right? More than 10 pounds? Yeah, everybody had grocery bags when we were leaving, so I would like everybody to come out and show y'all how to forage properly as well.
Still on that topic, I'm curious, where are some of these walkabouts? Where are we going to forage?
So right now we are offering them in the East Bay and South Bay, and then now we are also offering more walkabouts all the way to Humboldt County, Arcata, Oregon, and a little bit towards Washington too.
Okay, so I actually have seen mushrooms in Tilden Park in Berkeley, in the Berkeley Hills. What are some things that you might find out here in the East Bay?
Right now, at the moment, you'll definitely find a whole bunch of chicken in the woods.
Yes.
So that's probably what you've seen in Tilden, because yeah, a bunch of turkey tail, but right now you'll definitely see a whole bunch of chicken in the woods. If you go to the Berkeley Hills, you'll randomly find oyster mushrooms. You know, so keep your eyes out. Last year, I found 6 pounds just walking my dogs randomly, and I was like, oh my God, there's mushrooms. So you never know. And then lion's mane as well. You'll find a bunch of lion's mane underneath dead oak trees, or sometimes if you go to Mount Tamalpais. If you drive around there, sometimes the beginning of this year, I found 3 pounds of lion's mane just randomly on a tree as I was driving. I sent Jesse to go down and run to go get it. I'm like, Jesse, can you go get it? And he's like, let's go. And then it was a big wad of lion's mane. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different mushrooms out here. And there's mushrooms to dye clothing with too. Like dyer's polypore, you can dye yarn. And then also if you grab some of that mycelium and add it to your soil in your garden, super beneficial. It helps out a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's really hard for me to choose too. Okay, no.
Okay, yeah. This is hard for me because I genuinely do try to curate my menu to be all bangers. Like, my food is comfort food at its finest. But if I'm going off of what everyone has told me, I will say the poblano mac and cheese. It is nut-free, soy-free, soon-to-be gluten-free. It's poblano cream sauce made from scratch, queso blanco made from scratch, and then I top it with spiced sunflower seeds, fried jalapeno, fried shallot, and it is a crowd pleaser for sure. So.
I would say it's hard to choose between the juices because everyone has a different flavor palette, but the Good Food Awards high score winner is the Sunset Immunity and the Lush Greens. Those are the top ones, but you can always get them all at stores all around the Bay Area at all the natural food stores.
Where are you at? Where are some of the stores?
Got Berkeley Wool West, Rainbow Grocery, Buy Right and Divisadero, other avenues, Monterey Market, Butcher's Son, Alameda Natural Grocery, Castro Valley Natural Grocery, and more coming.
Okay, I have 2 more questions, but I will take a question from the audience. Anyone have a question for our panelists? Yes, Nina.
With the foraging, because until people can get to you, can you talk about taking just what you need from nature?
Oh yeah, if you're gonna be foraging, don't take everything, because there is animals and other plant life that need these type of mushrooms, and other people that are foraging too. So if you're gonna go forage, make sure you spread the spores, tap the top of the mushroom to spread the spores, and also leave enough for everybody else to share. And also, if you don't know what you're picking, don't touch it.
Business person, if you have an online presence, a website, or a Facebook page, could you let us know what it is?
At the moment, I'm working on my website. It's under construction. We're launching our LLC this year. We're teaming up with Let Our People Grow, Jesse right here. So I do have an Instagram at the moment. You can definitely tap into that. It's called Decolonize. And then Hongos, like Hongos in Spanish, Hongos. And you can follow me on there. And then right now we have an event going on for Dia de Muertos on the 30th on Eventbrite. So it should pop out for the Bay Area things to do. So y'all can definitely check it out. You can check me out on my booth right here by the corner. Decolonize Hongos, and then I'll show you more information. I got business cards too.
Mine's DLP Remedios, REMEDIOS, and .org.
And where are you usually? Where can we find you?
I'm usually in the city. But like for food and stuff, I'm doing pop-ups. Monday, Tuesday, I'm in the East Bay in Richmond at Naturally Herbs serving food. Everyone should go check out Naturally Herbs. A lot of good stuff going on there. A lot of other outland chefs just like me, cooking everything from scratch, doing everything super healthy. You know, tapping in with indigenous medicine and all that good stuff. So yeah, Naturally Herbs, dlpremedios.org, and then you can also check out the Instagram, which is dlp_remedios.
You can find me on Instagram at that Hausa Vegan. I'm currently working, let me spell it for you, that like THAT and Hausa HAUSA vegan. You can find me at Understory. I'm actually part of their test kitchen incubation program, and it's going to be going on until March of next year. So I'm going to be doing pop-ups every other Saturday. I just had one this Saturday, so the next one is going to be November 5th. I'm expanding more to offer more authentic northern Nigerian dishes. So that way, so over there you'll have more of my savory dishes. I also serve desserts at Grandeur. It's a restaurant on Grand Avenue. And I also do a vegan pop-up every third Sunday of the month in Richmond at Unity Park. That's where you can find me.
You can also find me on Instagram at Vegan Chula Eats. I actually just landed a residency in Oakland at the Rosemary Jane Dispensary. So now I'll be there every second and fourth Sunday of the month. You should also check out that dispensary. They focus on curating products that are equity owned, LGBTQ plus owned, BIPOC. They're a dope business, and so I'm very happy to be in partnership with them.
You can find me at Liquified Juicery as the Instagram, and you can order for pickup and delivery from liquifiedjuicery.com. I offer delivery throughout the Bay Area. There's juice cleanses, superfood eats, meal replacement shakes, plant-based milks with adaptogens, all the good stuff.
Awesome, thank you. You listed all the places that you're at, so we already know where to go for you. One more question from the audience. Yes?
Hello. So my question, I'm wondering, how do you keep your entrepreneurial spirit and, have a support system?
I'll go first. I would say support system, your family and friends, and all the people who love the products. They're always going to support you, and word of mouth is the best form of marketing. And when you build a connection with certain clients, they love your products, they're going to support you, and it just becomes a regular thing, and then you get joy from that and seeing, everyone that you're providing for happy, then it kind of makes it go around and you want to keep going, keep pushing.
Yes, exactly that. I would say the exact same thing. And what everybody else has kind of mentioned today too, that just the response from others, like it's very vulnerable to put your products, your brain babies, your ideas out there. And so for people to have such positive receptivity to what's inside of you and like putting it out into the world, it keeps you going because we're all creatives. And so to see your creative outlet being supported and recognized, it just makes you want to keep pushing and be like, okay, let me show you what else I got.
For myself, it's like Hanina said, like maybe 2 hours ago, is keeping 5 people around you that are very driven and motivated, because those 5 people represent who you are and how you act. And it's good to have people around that are going to motivate you, that support system, that are going to be behind you no matter what. They're going to be able to just allow you to be down when you need to be down, and pick you up when you need to get picked up. And what keeps me my drive going with that is like everybody said, just the replies from people, the information that we're giving out, the fact that it's so easy to access, we just don't have those people around us. So yeah.
For me, it's I think being passionate is definitely number one. Without passion, you can't go through the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur. It's just like this. It's hard, really hard, But being passionate about what you're doing, feeling good about promoting what you're doing, and I feel like what I'm doing is good for the community, good for. just think it's a good thing. And so, because of that, I just strive to get better every day at what I do, and that's pretty much my mindset right now. I don't, there's no quitting me right now, and that's it.
For me, I think I'll have to say, remember to keep it playful. I try to, because I do a lot of things. Like I like performance art, I like doing monologues in my head, and so sometimes I hate committing to things that keep me stuck in one place. So when I'm making my donuts, I talk to my donuts. I'm like, hey, we're about to do this. Like I have whole monologues. I feel like, oh, I'm here cooking and I'm being an actress in my own head, you know? So part of it is like keeping it playful. Another thing is like remembering why I'm doing it. I like what you said about passion, like just remembering why, because sometimes like the Bizerkeley vegan festival, you knew what I was going through. Like I had people lined up to help me out, so I decided to say yes to a photo shoot in San Francisco, and I didn't realize it was going to be a 3-day shoot, and the people canceled out the day that I said yes to the shoot. So I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? I literally, after 3 days, came home, shopped, and made everything that I made for that festival that same night, trying to prep and cook at the same time. So part of it is like, it's the passion. Sometimes when I go to bed, I'm like, what, like, how did I do this? And so for that festival, actually, one thing that happens to me every time as a woman, sometimes when you have things going on and your period shows up, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is this my village people? Is it my ancestors? What did I do? But for that festival, I realized, okay, because I thought, okay, my period is going to show up for the photo shoot, but it didn't. So I was like, okay, what's going on? It came right after the photo shoot, before I started the festival. So when I laid down that night, I was like, what if my period is my ancestors actually trying to show up to help me? Because on that first day, it like goes so fast, like I don't even know how I do it. And then I reflect after, like, oh wow, yeah, I hated that my period came, but somehow I was able to do it. So I'm really trying to find that relationship, because I feel like there's something, it's something deeper than me that kind of keeps me going, because I'm able to like wake up and keep it fun. People can cancel out on me, and I'm like, okay, well shit, we're about to do it alone. It's just me, and maybe we're gonna make maybe 2 batches less of brownies and 2 batches less of donuts, but either way, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna have fun and I'm gonna talk to people. Because even if I'm not able to like cook and make it, like today, I was supposed to show up as a vendor, but I couldn't do it because I had an event yesterday. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show up in a different way. How do I show up and still be in the community? So it's all about following the passion and just allowing it to lead you to a lot of different places.
I really love that. Yeah, I think all of us here are kind of solo entrepreneurs. We have people who, you know, wrap around us and support us, but a lot of this is, it's your brain baby.
Yeah, I was up till 3 a.m. last night.
No.
Cooking.
That was me the week of the Bizerkeley Food Festival. I was pulling 20-hour days to pull that festival off by myself. It's really amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. I think Sital just touched on a really important point before we wrap this up. As solo entrepreneurs, as you know, you're gardening your brain baby. You know, for me, when it comes to like, I do vegan events year round. And for some reason I have to ante up every year. So this year the festival is bigger. I did a vegan yacht party this year. I'm bringing back my vegan Valentine's Day event, and it's like, people don't see what happens behind the scenes. So the last question is there one thing you would want your customers and future customers to know about, you know, what happens behind the scenes? What does it take to make your brain baby happen?
I think you guys miss all the mistakes that we probably make. You know, every day I'm messing something up. Every day I'm learning something new. Thinking about a different way I could do this or do that. Oh, my menu's not so expanded. Let me pump out some more recipes. Let me keep challenging myself. Let me keep pushing myself to be better and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, that's. Sorry, I forgot the question.
Just all the things that happen behind the scenes that
I'm
you're
so
tired.
sorry. Can you tell?
Just all the things that people don't realize goes into making your passion happen, that people don't really think about or see behind the scenes.
So yeah, all the mistakes happening, and then on top of that, having to be the one to pick yourself up after you're feeling super discouraged, because it's like, damn, I just put my all into that. You know, for example, like I went to the Coal Valley Fair like last month. It wasn't an all vegan event. I was competing against the the meat companies, and so I got killed. I was prepping all night. I did everything, but I think I barely broke even, maybe. But I'm not complaining or anything. It's just like that's whatever. Take it on the chin, keep going.
Yeah, that's a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, same as Jordon said, it's like those mistakes, those long hours, sometimes just prepping material for everybody, and the intentions that we put behind our products too, because, there's love behind the things that we do, so that, and let me see. I think that's it.
Okay.
For me, I think it would be like the amount of thought and intention that I put into every single detail of every dish that I make and every single recipe. It is years and years of experiences and a skill set that has been developed over time. And I think especially it's a blessing right now, right, that in the vegan world we have so much available products. Like we could just go to the grocery store, go to the freezer section, grab a box off the shelf, and make a vegan meal. But it is a special skill set to be able to develop everything from scratch and just think over and over, weeks, about how do I develop this texture and how do I still imitate that same taste profile and how do I still get the same, ooh, this reminds me of my grandma's albondigas. How do I recreate this memory that I have in my mind and I haven't tasted it in years? And so that's something that I don't want people to take for granted. And there are a lot of places that can just throw a Beyond Burger on, the grill and be like, here's an $18 burger. But there's so much intention I put into making plants, turning plants into the food that reminds you of your family's cooking.
I would say something that people need to understand about running a business is obviously all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, all the things that work and don't work. You won't see it because at the end you just get the product, but you have no idea how much hard work goes into it, especially if you're just doing it all by yourself and you don't have employees or anything. So the days can be 14, 15, 16-hour days. For myself and for my business, I'm doing everything from ordering the bottles, which it's extremely hard to have glass bottles, especially with COVID and getting it shipped. It'll be sold out all the time, and it's oh my god, how am I going to fulfill these orders with no bottles? Then it's the labels, and they're backstocked, and then labeling, bottling, getting the produce, and then they're sold out of the produce, and you have to find somewhere else, and then you just want good quality ingredients, so you're very picky, and then juicing and just everything, and then bottling it and delivering it and picking it up, and then emailing customers and following up. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but it's so enjoyable at the end of the day because you wouldn't want it any other way. I would say there's just so much more behind, when you hold someone's product, there's so much that goes into it, but we're just happy that you support our businesses, and thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing what you shared, actually. I feel like one thing I want to add is it really takes a lot of focus and precision, and a lot of things that people also don't see is the sacrifice. For me, it took a lot of social sacrifice. It took focusing on what I wanted to do and removing myself from social circles, even despite the FOMO. And because sometimes I know when I talk to people, they're like, well, because what if my friends, I'm like, you gotta sacrifice something sometimes. And then eventually you end up with communities of people that also do the same thing, and then you end up making friends in that community. And those people eventually come around, but at some point you have to sacrifice and really focus on what it is that you want, because if you have a purpose, you're supposed to accomplish it by any means necessary, whether or not you're by yourself or you have a community of people doing that with you. So that's one thing I wanted to add to that. Thank you.
hangout. I understand. I do not judge my chef friends for canceling on me at the last minute. I understand. For our last question to round it out, just something that you just want everyone to know about your business, the future of your business, or just something you want to leave the audience with that resonates with you and your business that you want us to know about. Anything? Okay, closing statements.
Closing statements. Well, for me, I feel like if there's anyone out there that feels like they have a passion in food and they're wondering how they're gonna start, like I was that person 2 years ago. I still feel like that person because sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I gotta bookkeep, I gotta post on Instagram, I gotta talk to these people, I gotta make the post about I forgot to put the date and the time of the event. It's actually about to start happening right now. So I feel like for my business, it's really like a marathon. It's continuing. Right now I'm in the test kitchen program at Understory, and it's really a blessing for me. Yesterday I had a moment where I cried 3 times, where I was like, wow, I'm really living my dream. I'm out here cooking food that people would have to travel to Nigeria and even go to a village to actually taste. And it's on a menu in Oakland, So it's people can do what they put their minds to.
I don't even feel like I've hit my stride yet, so I think you're gonna start seeing more from Remedios next year. Goals keep getting bigger. Kind of like Mamba mentality, Kobe, just trying to get better every single day, keep working every single day. Sacrifices are all part of it, the ups and downs are all part of it, and it's okay. It's just, it's gonna be okay in the end. Just gotta keep believing in yourself. That's all it comes down to.
I guess for myself, I'm really deep into protecting the earth and really going action into it. So I would just appreciate if everybody would plant a tree or take care of, clean some trash. That'd be super cool to see. Because every time I go to the park, it just sucks to see trash there that doesn't even belong there. And then saying hello to people around you when you hike. Because every time I go hiking, people don't even say what's up. They just put there. I'm like, bro, come on, say what's up. I'm trying to say that, trying to have a good day with you. But say what's up to the people around you, tell them you love them, be there for them, and just show them.
For me, everything just revolves around gratitude. I think I very much resonate with what she said just about when you're living your passion, it's reflected to you, the universe reflects that to you. I've been in my first year of business and I have far passed all of my goals for this year and have even gone into my second year goals. And it just shows me that when you're on the right path, you're always going to receive those green lights. I have really not hit any sort of obstacles. I've worked really hard to get to this place that I am right now. All of it has been below the soil for many years. So the fact that it's finally sprouted and everybody else is able to receive what I'm putting out, I am just overwhelmed with gratitude. I just hope I can feed you all soon. Please see me, please say hi if you see me out. I can't wait for you to try my food. And I'm so grateful for the experience.
So a couple things. One would be, if you have the goals, just do everything you have to do to reach them, whether it's little things every day. And you're gonna have off days, you're gonna have your mental health days, but just make sure you reach those goals and work towards them. And then second, I would really like, if anyone is interested in learning about juicing and the benefits and how it can reverse any sickness, or if they have family members that are dealing with anything, it's my passion to help with that. And I have a lot of knowledge I want to spread with that. And also, I need to hire people, so if anyone knows anyone that would like to work in the health and wellness industry, please reach out.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. I just honestly say, all these vendors have been Bizerkeley vegan approved. I've tried their stuff. They are amazing. I would feed this to anybody and recommend it 10 out of 10. Thank you so much for doing what you do, helping our communities. Thank you so much.